Now let's look at an introductory workshop. This file should be available in your folder, in your module folder that you have. It's an Excel file called Introductory Workshop. So let's look at a case study. A contractor was invited to tender for completion of a project in a period of 104 weeks. So that's this program here, 104 weeks. An alternative tender was submitted by the contractor for completion in 114 weeks. That's program B, 114 weeks. And this program was accepted by the employer. Now, after mobilization and after the contract was signed, the contractor submitted a program which showed a completion in 101 weeks, which is program C. If you remember, 114 weeks was accepted by the employer, it's in the contract, but the contractor post-contract submitted a program showing 101 weeks completion. The contractor mobilized and was ready for commencement on the date agreed in the contract, but on arrival at site with the plant and the cabins, the employer notified the contractor that the appropriate approvals had not been given and that the work could not commence. The contractor's resources remained available but idle for 5 weeks, after which the work could commence following issuance of all the necessary approvals. That's program D here. So you can see here, first 5 weeks there was a delay, and then the program could continue as normal. So the question we have before us is, what are the contractor's entitlements to an extension of time, payment of delay costs, if any, due to the employer's failure to give access to the site and to enable the contractor to commence work as agreed? Now, please try to analyze this case study and come up with your own solution before you look at the solution which is also available in your folder called Introductory Workshop with Solution. So now let's look at the solution. Now, since the contractor has agreed to a program, he cannot go back and try to go for an accelerated program unless the contract that he has signed allows him to do so. Now, this is highly unlikely. And since the contractor's program showed a completion in 101 weeks, there was 13 weeks of float which could be absorbed before any critical delays occurred to the project completion date. Therefore, there would be no extension of time for this delay, this 5-week delay. However, if the contractor was subsequently delayed by other delay events which did not qualify for an extension of time, and such delays exceeded the remaining float in the program, thereby delaying completion, then the contractor could argue that the delay in obtaining access should be taken into account and an extension of time should be granted. But then we are moving to the territory about who owns the float, and we will discuss that separately. Now, although there are no delay costs because there's no extension of time, it should be noted that there is disruption. The contractor's resources were prevented from carrying out the works for 5 weeks because the start date was agreed, and therefore there should be reimbursement of costs for any disruption that the contractor suffered. Of course, you have to take into account the fact that the contractor is obliged to mitigate his costs, and after that is taken into account, the cost that the contractor reasonably incurred as a result of this non-critical delay is recoverable.